because I cannot call her. Okay, I think let's get started since she confirmed she will be connecting. Um, let's start at exactly. We are going to start with an opening prayer, and then the visionary's chairperson will take over and hand over to the moderator. Okay, I think let's get started since she confirmed she will be connecting. Introduce the panelists and the host. We are going to start with an opening prayer. And I think on that note, let me, chairperson, request the assay she has volunteered over to the lead us in prayer. Moderator. I think let's get started since she confirmed she will be connecting. A short prayer to introduce the panelists and the host. We are going to start with an opening prayer. And I think on that note, let me, chairperson, request the assay she has volunteered over to the lead us in prayer. No, let's get started since she confirmed she will be connecting. A short prayer to introduce the panelists and the host. We are going to start with an opening prayer.
Heavenly Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for today the letter connect also Trevor followed. Please help us and help the people in need, like the others who need help. Eyes closed. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Father in heaven,
Amen.
Thank you.
Asking for the prayer.
Amen.
Okay, so let me first of all welcome all of you. Thank you so much for connecting in such big numbers. I'm sure we are all looking forward to a big event, and this event has been organized by the visionaries entirely. So I have the honors of inviting. Okay, so let me first take charge and lead us through this session. Welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Over to you, Maureen. Connecting in such big numbers. I'm sure we are all looking forward to it.
Mr. Samsakwa, I would like to invite Vicky to lead us through this session.
Okay, so
She'll be the moderator for the podcast. So,
thank you so much.
Vicky, over to you.
Over to you, Maureen.
Thank you, Chairperson. Visionaries. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you're tuned in.
Vicky,
welcome to episode 2 of the ZASS Foundation podcast.
Vicky, we can't see you. Vicky, over to you.
Over to you, Maureen.
You can't see me. Thank you,
I'm
Chairperson.
not you. I don't know if other people are seeing you anymore.
Good evening, good morning.
Vicky, I can see you very clearly, very pretty looking.
Oh, now I'm seeing you.
Thank you. So, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and from wherever you tuned in. Welcome to episode 2 of the ZASS Foundation podcast. You can't see me. I am Victoria Wanda, and I'm excited to be your moderator for today.
Vicky,
Now, just a quick recap for those who might have missed it. ZASS Foundation held its debut good evening podcast good morning, the month good afternoon, and it was hosted by an incredible duo, Miss Wanda and Mr. Trevor Sakwa. Who did an incredible job, and I'm excited. Kudos to that. The visionaries were well represented. Just a quick recap for those. The guest speaker, Mr. Sam Sakwa, who also happens to be the serving chairperson of the ZASS Foundation, shared valuable insights about the foundation's wealth, and he encouraged us to look at the long term. Kudos to that. The visionaries were well represented. Just a quick recap for those. The guest speaker, Mr. Sam Sakwa, who also happens to be the serving chairperson of the ZASS Foundation, shared valuable insights about the foundation's content. He encouraged us to look at the long term. Kudos to that. The visionaries were well represented.
Network.
The guest speaker, Mr. Sam Sakwa, who also happens to be the serving, also emphasis person of the ZASS Foundation. Can you hear me? Sorry, someone was trying to call. Can you hear me now? Encouraged us to.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we're hearing you, Vicky.
Sorry, there was an interference. Someone was calling. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So, as I was still saying, the guest of honor, I beg your pardon, the guest speaker, who happened to be the chairman of the ZASS Foundation, Mr. Sam Sakwa, shared valuable insights about the foundations of wealth. He encouraged us to think long term and not just the present. He also emphasized the importance of being financially disciplined. By now, most of us are very well versed with the famous sugarcane story and are probably reflecting on our own sugarcane stories. Thank you so much, Mr. Sakwa, for getting the ball rolling and for sharing those words of wisdom. He also emphasized now building on that foundation. Today is a special episode. We are honored to have not just one, but two exceptional guests who will be unpacking insights about farming as an investment and the opportunities that lie there. They'll be sharing personal experiences, the challenges they've encountered and how they've managed to overcome them. Most of us have been asking why farming. Can anyone benefit from farming? And how can someone benefit from farming? I remember back in school they used to tell us agriculture is the backbone of Uganda. Is it still so, or was it just a myth? Most of us have been asking. So stay with us as we explore, discuss, and dive into the world of farming today. From those who have lived it, and leading us in today's session is none other than Engineer Achom Sheila, who is an accomplished environmentalist, mining engineer at Power Refineries Limited, bringing both expertise and strong passion for excellence through her work. Beyond her professional life, she has a vibrant personality. She absolutely lights up when it comes to Scrabble, so you don't want to be caught on the losing end. Her love for the game reflects her sharp mind, quick thinking, and competitive spirit, which qualities she brings into everything she does. Now, our first guest, live from the city of Palisa, is an elder of this foundation, Mr. Julius Ourum. He is a seasoned professional with a distinguished career spanning several decades across Uganda's public and parastatal sectors. Over the years, he served in a number of key institutions, including the Uganda Grain Milling Company, where he worked as a marketing officer, and Uganda Fisheries Enterprises, where he excelled career as a sales manager. He later joined the Ministry of Local Government and Parastatal, rising through the ranks. Over the years, served as the principal commercial officer in the time of his retirement. Beyond his formal career, Julius brings over 20 years hands-on experience in commercial farming. His deep understanding later joined cultural investment, coupled with extensive background served as operations and public sector management, positions him as a well-rounded beyond his formal sustainable wealth Julius brings over 20 years hands-on experience. Our other guest, who also doubles as understanding ZASS visionary, is Mr. Kenneth Woniaye. Kenneth is a multidisciplinary professional with experience in accounting, IT, and business operations. He works at Gutagwa General Enterprises Limited, where he supports financial management and operational efficiency. He is skilled in financial reporting, stock management, and audit processes. An entrepreneur in agribusiness, he's involved at Candy Animal Feeds and Farm Supplies and Canagric Mixed Farm Limited. And he also contributes to community initiatives through the ZASS Foundation, where he supports digital transformational project. So let's all listen in, take notes, as we'll give you an opportunity to ask questions at the end. Without further ado, allow me hand over to the host of this evening to dive in quickly. Miss Sheila, the floor is yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Vicky. Someone confirm if they can hear me.
We can hear you, Sheila.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Our dear moderator has done an incredible job introducing our panelists that are going to be with us today. I can say the gurus in farming. Let's just have our notes, like she said, our notebooks, our pens, ready to write, ready to lock in with the conversation as we get the real stories, the lessons and experiences right from the field. Without wasting much time, allow me usher in I see a hand. Mr. Julius, do you want to speak?
No, I was just testing the system. I've been off a bit. Can go ahead.
We are happy to have you on board. Without wasting much time, since Mr. Julius has just joined, we'll usher in our first guest, Mr. Kenneth. You're going to give us a brief journey of how your farming has gone and what motivated you to start. Mr. Kenneth, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sheila. Thank you so much for hosting me. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kenneth Woniaye, and I do farming as a side enterprise. While professionally, I work as an accountant and also an IT technician for a downtown business that deals in medical products. Well, I'm passionate about farming, and I see my future leaning more towards that. And to me, farming is just like any other business. Well, I started farming around 2018, and started small, came as an opportunity that I utilized. I was offered a piece of land by our chairman, that is Uncle Sam Sako. And from there, the opportunity turned into something that I do every day and seem to enjoy.
Mr. Kenneth, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I don't know if I'm the only one not getting you well, but your voice is so low.
Okay. I'll try to raise my voice.
Okay, better. Thank you.
I don't know if I have to repeat what I said, but
No, just
for those who didn't get me, once again, I'm Kenneth Woniaye. I do farming as a side business, and also professionally, I'm an accountant. I work as an accountant slash IT technician at downtown business. So, as I said, farming, I started way back in 2018. It came as an opportunity, which I've over time, you know, tried to turn the opportunity into a business. And currently, we are having broilers, and we have crop production at the farm, and others that I will mention as the podcast goes on. Thank you. Sheila, back to you, Sheila.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kenneth. That is really wonderful. It's inspiring. I think before we dive into the questions, I would just like to invite our next guest, Mr. Ourum Julius. We can hear from you and then do the questions at once. Mr. Ourum Julius would like to get a brief story about your journey in farming, and also we want to know what motivated you to lay that first brick to invest in farming. Over to you, Mr. Julius.
Thank you very much. I hope I'm loud enough. Am I loud?
Yes, we can get you.
You get me. Yeah, as the names have already been said, I'm Julius Ourum. I hail from Palisa District, Palisa Town Council, Hospital Ward of Kudelia Village. I know many of you have been to this small village. Farming as a business is a very interesting game. I've been in it for about 20 years now, as I was told, as you've been told. I started small with 200 layers, and I thought that number would be good for learning. I did the learning, did a lot of consultation with the veterinarians and the fellow farmers. In the neighborhood was being practiced poultry. That is where I got inspired, because I saw the way of life of the neighbors was turned through poultry. With the 200 layers, we had a lot of hiccups, especially when they were young, around 1 month old. The mortality rate was high because of, I think, temperatures and diseases. We went through that journey and somehow we perfected. When these birds got to 18 months, we off-laid them and decided to bring in another 300. This time, we didn't have the hiccups as we had in the first ones. The birds laid at up to a production percentage of 83%, and that is good. Of course, the best would be 100%, but when you do 83, 85, that is good enough. You can get the profit that can offset your other costs. So with the 300, we did a good job. Those ones also got off-laid. This time I said, let me bring 500. The 500 also did a good job with that experience that we had. Then as I stand now, we are with a flock of 600 birds. I think I'm seeing some on the pictures there. That is the farm that we have this way. The 600 birds are laying very well. We are getting a percentage of 85 to 86%, which is still also very good. Maybe as for the introduction and the journey, I will stop at that and wait for other questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Julius. This was very intriguing, and I hope we are able to pick something, one or two, from your story. Without wasting much time, Mr. Kenneth, let's dive into the questions. We'll have our first guest. I would like to know, how are you balancing accounting and farming? You know, How are you balancing the two?
Thank you so much. Well, it's not easy. At times it compromises one side, especially depends on what you choose on a certain day. If you choose farming, then on this other side, you find that there are times when you're not at work, trying to make things get into line, but also it is just have to balance. At one point, you have to sit down and plan and make sure that you allocate time for each side. So when I was given that opportunity, the land, utilizing the land, in the beginning, it was quite hard for me. I had no means of transport to the farm, so I used to catch a taxi to the farm, and that meant that I would, because it's taxi, you cannot catch time. It's going to the park, you sit, wait, so it was hours and hours wasted. So it was I used to trek there. I used to go there on Sundays when I had time, and I used to have a 9. I used to do from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. just to utilize my time there. Over time, it became hard because that space of 6 days was unutilized, and whatever you did on Sunday, there would be a setback. However, COVID came. So during COVID, I had a project of maize. I wanted to plant maize about 3 acres. And then I sent over, because that time it was delivery only, so I sent over the maize. I contracted some people to do the digging and the planting. So at the time when they allowed us to go to start the movements, I was very disappointed to find that the work they had done was not good. The maize was so spaced, about 2 meters, 2 meters from one maize plant to another. So it was not intensive enough to utilize the land, and even the maize was all covered in weeds. So it was quite a disappointment. Now they released the motorbikes. They allowed motorbikes to start operating. That's when I started hiring one. And from hiring one, so I started doing it on a daily. I would hire one in the morning, very early, 6 a.m. I would be there by 7 a.m. Then by 8 something, I would leave so that I'm at work by 9:30 or 9. That's when I got the revelation that maybe I should buy my own bike. It was a game changer. It helped me a lot to make sure that I could rush there, of course, carefully. I could rush there in a bike. Bike is not caught by the traffic jam. So I would rush there, do whatever supervision I had to do, then get back by 9. Then at times I would go there in the evenings at 5. Then the Sundays, I also now could maximize my time. If I woke up early in the morning, it was just 20 minutes or 30 minutes to Sunday, where the farm is. So I usually give the farm the morning hours or evening hours and Sundays. And the professional side, I give it the 9 to 5. And that's how I've managed to balance until maybe if I retire from that job and choose maybe to do farming as the main business as something that will occupy me for that day. Thank you so much.
Very, very interesting. One thing I pick from this is you need to plan. Okay, before we go to our next guest, you talked about contracting people and then you get a disappointment on ground. What are some of those values you should, anyone listening in should probably instill in their investment to make sure it can run Kenneth?
Well, I think management is everything. Good farming is really about timely action, monitoring. You also need that consistency. So you have to observe the well-being of the livestock, the crops, and you have to act early in cases of diseases, and other problems that arise. So it's never assumptions. When we are away, we don't get the real picture. So management is key. Over time, I got to learn that you have to have good management, someone you can trust, someone who will tell you the truth. Yeah, so I think that is on top of everything. So we don't have to do those nothing. We don't have to do extraordinary things. We just have to, we just have to do more of the simple things, but extraordinarily. So I think if we get a good manager, that is the first thing I learned over time. To get a good manager, um, things can start to work out well for you. But also, you have to make sure that you're there to, get insights from him of how the farm is progressing, and also to see it for yourself, so that you're not left out. You have to be the face. You also have to see that you're spearheading whatever things, whatever things your projects you're laying out at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. Acting early, teamwork makes the dream work. I think that's what he's trying to put across. And one last one before I invite the next guest. Um, we are in a digital world. Do you think incorporating technology, the AI and whatnot, in farming can actually make it better or put it at a better stand?
That's interesting. And AI is something new that is, it's going to be part of our daily life, not just maybe farming. AI is something big. AI is a whole school, and maybe it would be my encouragement for those who can to subscribe for the professional versions, for the pro versions of AI, just to get more better, results. AI tends to be silly. Not to say that you've been getting silly results from it, but when you have the unpaid versions, it intentionally will give you dumb answers, just for you just to force you to get the paid version. And if I jump to that, we've used AI for guidance, especially at the farm. AI is something you can even just take. Let's say first we majorly do broiler, so you can just take pictures of a broiler, and AI is able to analyze for you just by structure or by the poop. You can take a picture of a leaf, and post it by just those small dots on the leaf, the brown dots, the brown spots, the structure of the leaf. And at times AI is able to analyze for you and give you the first answers before you talk to the to those who to the tech, to those who have more knowledge before you go to the technical desk. So AI has played a big role. I've used it every day. We are able to solve so many things before we go to the professionals, be it in crop management, especially in identifying diseases. You get results of soil samples, the results, and upload them to AI, and it's able to analyze for you and interpret what the profession did not interpret well. And also, that point when you go to the farm and find probably a certain outbreak, you could write descriptions of probably the disease, the symptoms, and it's able to tell you at times you get scared, and then now you know that there are answers out there, there are solutions, until at least it calms you down, not to panic, and maybe to take an irrational decision. So AI to me has played a crucial role. If they called me today and told me signs, I would punch in into AI and see, what could be I give instant replies, but I caution them that we shall also consult with the professionals and see. So you go with that information and see, you test whether it matches with what the professional will tell you. So if it matches, at times we give kudos to the AI. Times if it doesn't, then you have to use AI cautiously. So, yeah, that's my stand on AI for now.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. Very informative session. I hope, like I said, you have your notebooks, your pens, and you're locked in the conversation. Let me just usher in our next guest. I'll be coming back to you, Kenneth. Let me just usher in our next guest, Mr. Julius Ourum. You talked about some hiccups as you're doing the farming. What are some of those challenges that you face, and how have you tried to overcome them?
Thank you. The hiccups or challenges that we face, that I face in the farm, is one is a disease. The diseases like coccidiosis, Newcastle, can always come in. They come in, and especially if the biosecurity slips have not been followed. When I talk of biosecurity, we are talking of things like foot baths. You have to bathe your feet in some liquid that has can keep away the germs, disinfect. So that one it must to be done. Then we have the problem of poor feed. Poor feed contributes to a lot to poor performance. So to go around that is that we have to ensure that you deal with the proper feed suppliers. We have the known feed suppliers like Comfort, like Yoga Chick. Don't go in for these people who bag just from the market. Those are the people who give us low production percentages. The other problem could be we have been having is the poor record keeping. Record keeping, you have to have a daily record, but you find that sometimes you get so busy and you skip some days without doing the record keeping, and that one will cause poor tracking of production. So those are some of the hiccups that we usually have in the farm. I've gone around the issue of poor records by making simple books that have records of eggs laid, the total number of eggs laid per day, the total number of feeds given per day. You know, feed is about 70% the cost of production. So if you don't have a proper record on feeds, you are likely to have profit leaks. And we have also tried to put that right by having expense records, simple expense records. I know my colleagues who have done a lot of accounting might think of the cash books and whatever, but let's just have very simple books that even the boys at the farm can record. The other challenge that we sometimes have is the market glut. We have a problem of middlemen. Middlemen tend to exploit the customers at the peril of the farm. So if you give them chance, they may overprice your product, the eggs, and you have a poor marketing intervention. So those are the few hiccups that we have been having, but I've told you I've tried to turn around all, and right now I'm at a percentage of 85%. So they're no longer a very big challenge.
Thank you so much, Mr. Julius. You talked about, in your story, you talked about starting with about 200 birds, and now you have reached to 600 birds. What is that unique approach? How did you attack differently to be different from the other farmers that made you be able to move the numbers?
At the beginning, I told you that the 200 was a learning number. You know, you don't have to risk, business, you don't risk a lot of capital at the beginning, at the learning stage. So I chose to start with 200 and made me go through a learning process such that I was able to perfect. When I perfected, I kept on increasing the number. And that's what I will advise the beginners of this poultry. Don't go in for many numbers when you're not sure. Because we have also learned that once a disease attacks a farm, it wipes out the profit for almost 6 months, which is very dangerous. So that's why I said, start small and grow big.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe before we continue, you have 20 years of experience, hands-on experience in farming. What has changed? How has farming changed from when you started and now? And okay, it's okay.
Yes,
You can proceed.
the changes are seen from the way of life. Of course, the profit has increased given the good performance. So you find that I'm able to have a better livelihood compared to as I started. The other advantage is that I am now a retired person, so I spend most of my time in the farm. And you find that it is easier for me now to handle bigger flocks. In fact, I have the capacity right now even of handling more than 1,000 birds, given all the required resources.
Interesting. So hello, can I be heard?
Yeah, getting you.
Okay. I think for now we're going to have a question. We are going to have questions that are going to be the same question, but will be answered by our different guests. I think we'll do it concurrently. You give your view, and then Mr. Kenneth will also give his view. What do you love most about farming?
Farming.
Am I the only one who's not hearing Mr. Julius?
I can't hear him as well.
I can't.
And looks like he's not on the call anymore.
Maybe I would go first.
Okay.
One thing I would love about farming, I think to me, it grew into a passion. For starters, it is a backbone of our country's economy, Uganda. And one thing I would love about farming is that you watch things grow. As a passion, watch things grow. If you have that interest, then you'll have fun at the farm. At the end of the day, uh, those things that you watch grow will turn into money as you sell them. So you watch crops grow from seedling, go through all the challenges, problems, then you find ways of solving them. So it is kind of interesting, and at the end of the day, you don't get so attached. Then you sell off, and it's profitable as you master it over time. It takes patience. So usually that creation and growth and development is what fascinates me. So that's what I'd love about farming. So at the end of the day, it turns into money.
Okay, thank you so much, Kenneth. Before we proceed, can I just get a thumbs up if we are enjoying the discussion, the conversation? I see that you're enjoying the conversation. Now we can proceed. Kenneth, okay. There is a hand. Um, there is a hand from Jajadina. Please unmute.
Oh, Hello? Can
Yes,
you hear
please.
me?
Yes, please.
I was just wondering where Julius went.
I really don't know, but let me just try reaching out. But I think we can proceed in the meantime. I'll reach out like after a minute or two. Maybe he would have logged in. Kenneth talked about agriculture, farming being the backbone in our country. I would like to know about looking at the tax rates that we are looking at these days in our country. Do you think farming is a good way to a little bit escape that big tax rates, those big tax rates that we are seeing? Do you think agriculture would be a best way to maneuver and see that we get there without the big man, I mean the tax, overwhelming us?
Yeah, I would agree with you. It is an escape because most of the farm products are untaxed until you do value addition, I think. So the only taxing that would be heavy on a farmer is probably on the inputs like seeds and for poultry. There's that commercial feeds, the concentrates, and so that's where the farmer is taxed maybe on inputs. But as far as products are concerned, for as long as there is no value addition, we are for now exempted from quite a number of taxes. But we are subject to income tax. We're subject to income tax and the trade license maybe, but the big part of it we are currently exempted. And I think for now it is kind of worth supporting the farmers, maybe until we get proper ground to also contribute to the country's economy.
Thank you, Kenneth. I think we can see to escape the tax rates that are overwhelming our eyes right now, we can run to the agricultural sector for now. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm failing to get to Mr. Julius. I don't know if we can proceed or wait. Can I get some guidance?
Let's proceed, Sheila.
It's okay. So I'll be asking, the questions will now be concentrated on one guest, Kenneth. Um, is there any way that ZASS Foundation has impacted your growth in farming? And if yes, how if and if yes, um, and if yes, how, and if no, how can we come in?
Yeah, that's of course has greatly uh, supported me in my farming journey. I was supported with a loan that I'm servicing, and I'm I'm happy that we are able to utilize the resources that were extended to us to push our business further. We are able to expand and create an ecosystem with the finances, and we did a shop. Initially, it wasn't our plan. Some things just come as you operate business, some ideas. So initially, we had the crop section and a smaller part of the broiler section. And now we're able to expand and integrate a shop where we buy commercial feeds at wholesale price. And for example, right now we are doing our broilers. We are agents of SR, Afro Chicks and Breeders, and getting our commercial feed at agent price has helped us a lot. And for example, we buy our commercial feeds at 192, 500, and then we are able to sell it at around 200,000 or more, meaning that if we are retailers, because that is a retail price set by the company, by SR, if we are retailers, we'd have to incur that extra 7,500 or 8,000 in order to to bring in a bag of a 50 kg bag of concentrate, broiler concentrate. So that expansion was to help us to support the ecosystem, and that is one of it. The other, we expanded the broiler so that we can have we were able to rent out or to rent another premise or house, chicken house somewhere where we could swap houses or move on to the next house just for disease control. And with the broilers, we are able to the manure that comes from the broilers, we're able to use it with in the garden. Currently, we are having challenges with the garden because of overuse. The land is exhausted, but we are using this manure now to rejuvenate the soils. So, in order to create this ecosystem, we had to, we needed that money for that expansion. Furthermore, we also crush our own feeds, that is maize. Yeah, so all this with the support of ZASS and with the fair interest rates, very fair. Not even the banks would offer you that, because if you look at the costs that are incurred to process that loan, you'd find out that the interest rate gets a little higher. But now, with ZASS, it was plain, no costs incurred. And I extend my appreciation and continue to extend my my thanks to the management and all those members of the ZASS family, and to this specific ZASS Foundation, for that support that was rendered to us. We don't take it for granted. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. Personally, I'm inspired to, reach out to ZASS if I have a burning business idea or something. I could actually be the next billionaire, millionaire because of ZASS. I hope we are picking something. Thank you so much, Kenneth. Maybe before we proceed, as a young person, as a visionary, what are those stereotypes around farming, and how have you managed to overcome them?
To start with, people think that farming is a one-day business, because if you relate with trading, where you go to China, You go trade 1 month, your goods are here, you clear them, sell, get your profits. Farming is patience. It is years and years of experience. It is years of perfecting. If you think that you're going to farming today and you're going to get it right, or if you think you're going to do your research and get it right, you might be wrong for now. Farming will always take you to school, and whatever you incur for starters is like tuition. It's like you're paying tuition. It's like you're paying school fees. So it will teach you at least one thing or two, almost on a daily. So until you perfect it, you'll get it at least you get at least 90%, and you will be able to over time to learn from those mistakes, and make sure that on the next time you rectify that, you perfect that, so that you don't fall victim of the same problems that came. So farming, uh, uh, people look at it as you know somewhere where you will fail automatically, but it's not the case. Uh, Failure will come, but success also is also on its way. You need to perfect all the enterprises or whatever you choose, be it piggery, be it broiler. It will always teach you one or two things, starting from feeding, from how they grow, the diseases. So eventually you'll succeed, but after all after going through all those lessons. So I want to believe that at one point agriculture takes us back to school. And now you get the hands-on experience. Could be 5 years, could be 10 years, and maybe if you at times hire professionals, you tend to make the progress faster, because even those professionals, when they come to your land, they will also face new challenges that probably they didn't see on other land. So we exhausted the land. We didn't know that. We thought that now with the technology available, we can rejuvenate this land. But even the professionals reached a point of telling us that at one point land has to, it has to reset naturally. You have to let everything happen naturally. So it is always a learning process. It is not for failures, or you're not bound to fail. Success is always on its way when that time comes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. I personally am learning so many things, and don't get surprised if I'm calling you tomorrow and I'm like, I have started and I need your guidance. Anyway, maybe one thing that is very key is having financial literacy as you're handling farming. How have you managed it?
Financial literacy. I think I'm not professional an accountant. It's just on job experience where I'm employed currently. There was space for growth, so I sat in, and we were just doing simple accounts until we we started improvising and upgrading to professional accounting, and it's been on-job training, and that's where I've learned most of it. the accounting, and now that accounting is also helping me on the other side. So we have our books. We do keep our records, and also I encourage people at the farm to make sure that record keeping is key. And in most cases, we also record our transactions and daily activities into a software that is Tally, and that it helps us to track profits and maybe losses at times. Just to be sure, we also do it manually on some occasions until we get so we at times we do it manually and make comparisons and see how we're doing it. So financial literacy, I think on the other hand, there's also discipline. We try very much to be disciplined. We are still progressing, and that is at times to make sure that we allocate bank accounts for the business. So we are trying to set up a business account so that we don't mix up things. At least would be financially disciplined in that regard. So if I add all that, and also having people on the ground who are financially disciplined and also who are following principles, that is in regards of record keeping, we are progressing well.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. Thank you so much. Miss Vicky, you want to speak?
Yes, thank you so much. I just wanted to give an update. I've been able to get in touch with Julius. He's just experiencing some little challenges, but he'll join us shortly. But in case of any questions, please just put them down. He'll be able to answer them. Thank you so much.
For reaching out. Maybe one last question I have for Kenneth is another question. Oh, there is a hand. Yes, please.
Yes, moderator, I'm wondering whether you are going to allow us to ask questions as we proceed or to be at the end.
Thank you so much. The questions will be asked at the end.
Okay, thank you.
But we can as well type them in the conversation area. Thank you.
Okay. Could I ask Kenny on the side of the financial literacy? I've heard from your submission that you learned a lot from office, and then you are translating that also in your personal business. Do you think it's an area that still requires more intervention in terms of training, or that alone is adequate for you to run this business that seems to be growing? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uncle. I would say learning does not stop, and we cannot be, at we can't say that we are at the epitome of knowledge. We still yearn for more, and especially if someone gives us a visit, there's always one or two things they can always contribute. Either it could be financial literacy, because there is more to learn. For now, we are at least above basic, because the basic would be just money record keeping. But we are trying as much as possible to see that we incorporate things into the system, record ourselves, both at the shop and the farm, and also record our expenses to see how we are moving on. But at any one point, we still feel like we would need more knowledge on how to handle certain financial disciplines. Thank you.
Miss Vicky, I don't know if I should proceed or we having questions for now.
We can have questions from what has been explained. So, dear ZASS members, we welcome anyone who has a question to raise your hand or maybe type it if you're unable to speak. Thank you so much.
Well, I can give my question, if that's okay. Kenny, I want to thank you so much for first acknowledging the support that ZASS has been able to give you in the form of a loan. And you did clearly indicate that the ZASS loans are fairly priced and the process is quick. But you did not go further to tell us whether you are able to service this loan from the proceeds of the business that you are engaged in, because it is quite important that you take a loan that to finance a business, but that business should be able to generate sufficient income to service the loan. So, is it, in your case, is it happening that the loan that you took, I'm sure you took like 2 rounds of the loan, whether you are able to service it using the proceeds from your farm? Some elaboration on that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. At least on whatever profit that we make, we first make sure, of course, we as me as a director, one of the directors of the farm, I make sure that one of the first things that we do is to service a loan, or at least any expenses that are incurred, that we first take them off of the profit. So in most cases, we have at least we have been able to service that loan using the farm proceeds, that is profits from sales. It might not be direct, but at least my revenue or whatever I'm intended to earn from there, at times where things don't add up well, to make sure that it goes into that. So rarely do I take out money. For now, as a business is growing, and in most cases, I make sure that most of what comes out services such loans and maybe uh, 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 expenses that we incur. So to a certain extent, at least about 70 to 80%, I would say much of it comes from there, the little that at times we earn. And once in a while, I get into also support a farm where, where some things are demanding or call for my intervention. But I would at least say at least 70 to 80% I'm able, because directly or indirectly, at the end of the day, we pull out and service, but we want to say that the profits that we usually get, we are able to preserve, because ZASS loan facilities are very fair. At least I can assure you that they are kind of easy to service. They are not so heavy like loans from money lenders. So we are very comfortable with such payments because of how fair they are. We are very comfortable, and we can't say that it is a burden in any way to the proceeds of the farm. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. Do we have anyone with a question? Yes, please go on.
I would like to thank Kenneth for the experience he has given us. And also, I am really interested that he developed that passion in agriculture when he was a city boy growing up. So I actually feel that agriculture can develop in somebody even when they are not in the village. That is what they normally say. When you are a village girl, you develop agriculture. But Kenneth seems to have developed it well and has gotten that passion, as he said. One thing I was interested in is that it seems as if he has many lines of enterprises. There are crops, there are broiler, and there are feeds, which is evolving in. And I was wondering, it's a good thing, but I was wondering if these lines all have their own way of accounting, so that he knows that this is what comes from the crops, this is what comes from the broiler, and this is what comes from feeds, and tries to compare which is which and which gives him most. That was one thing I wanted him to elaborate. And the other thing was, I was really impressed by the fact that he's learning from the mistakes. And he's also told us that he hired some professionals. Hiring professionals on the farm may also sort of quicken progress, because he's not there most of the time. I think that is possibly the reason. But at the same time, professionals also mean that you have to give in terms of financial the expense. So that is also another line which he needs also to explain how it fits in with his enterprises. Those two I wanted him to comment, please.
Thank you so much. I would start with the other of operating quite a number of enterprises. It didn't come, it was not planned, but we're sort of bending towards an ecosystem. As I said, with a shop, we are able to dodge a certain expense. Still, as we sell that those products. Sometimes we don't have to stock and keep until we sell out the broilers. So as we are selling, as we are stocking, we are also selling to other farmers. So there is also profit that is earned from selling of commercial feed. Now, with that ecosystem, we are able to supply our own farms at cost price, meaning that at least we save that extra that extra payment that other farmers who don't have such arrangements that they incur. Also, being that we are agents, when we purchase, they deliver. The company meets the cost of delivery. So at the end of the day, with Tally, the accounting system that we are using, we are able to, treat each transaction separately. And in that case, we are able to identify what, farm produce, what farm produce is, crops, what the crop section is yielding, or what it's returning in terms of finance, what the broilers are returning, and also what the shop is also returning. We separated those products for each enterprise. So then with broilers, at times we go much deeper and we use Excel or Google Sheets to analyze deeper. You analyze as the stock is growing and as you're selling. So by the time of sale, you're able to know the average cost per broiler at a certain stage, meaning that at any one point a buyer comes to us, we are ready. We've not been doing it all the time, but at least we are now trying to incorporate that where we have a system, but also other side systems to confirm or have timely data to take on decisions in terms of how much we should sell a broiler at a certain point, given how much it has paid, and maybe the costs we had. We try to be fair, not overprice, to chase away our customers. But as we try to be fair, if the costs are high, then we have to allow the loss and sell at whatever. But then we shall have that information and know that at this point, maybe we met problem, let's say disease. If many of the birds die and we pass for us at times we extend it to 10% mortality rates. The cost per broiler will increase, and maybe we shall incur the losses. So we on the system we're able to identify each enterprise, how it is performing. We might not be perfect, but usually I encourage more people I encourage people at the farm to take record keeping seriously. I've had a problem there, and that's where the professionals come in. Using unskilled personnel has a cost. that cost that you meet for using, because those errors, they have implications in terms of their financial implications. So that cost you meet, if you transferred it to a professional, that professional will be able to even bring more or contribute more. So we've had points where we've hired agronomists to the farm, especially when we had that crisis of the soils being unproductive. But also we've not been lucky to get professionals who are sound and probably, because they usually run away. They are challenged and they fail. So we knew the hard truth was that we have to leave the land, because that's what someone advised me, that we might try everything, but we have to leave the land. So these other professionals, some of them probably the knowledge was limited, and they tried to use the land as is and failed. When I consulted those at the technical desks where they sell seeds, one of them assured me that you try everything, but at the end of the day, you have to let the soils you have to give them time to rejuvenate. You have to have microorganisms thrive again, because overuse will kill all the microorganisms in the soil because of chemical exposure and other things. So those microorganisms in the soil are the ones that help the soil to be replenished. So they advised me that it is natural, and maybe with advanced technology there are other ways, but for now on our stage it is what we could do. So to summarize, a part of the professionals is that with the unskilled labor, there are costs that come along because of lack of observation, maybe lack of experience, which costs, if you transfer to a professional, they can even yield you much more. So I think so the advantage of having a professional is much bigger. Thank you. Hopefully I brought it out well.
Just one more question, if anyone has a question. Just one more question before we can conclude. Do we have anyone else with a question?
I see Patrick, Joel, there are two hands up.
Yes, Madam Moderator, my question goes to Kenneth. There was a question on about the loan. The loan. Sorry, my throat is getting. Now, my question goes to Kenny. The question was about the loan servicing, the loan which was acquired from ZASS. He just told us he's comfortable. Me, I wanted to just know how comfortable is he? Is he repaying the loan, the interest on the loan, or the principal as well? And if so, how long is it going to take to pay back that loan so that it can be put back to the pool for others to borrow? Thank you.
Thank you so much. The loan I was given would run for 2 years. And in the agreement states that at least for every 6 months, I'm supposed to have cleared either in lump sum the interest. But for the last year, which we've now entered or we are entering, I would be required at least to start giving it back with the principal inclusive. For the first time, I did the same, but I was advised that I would probably write in time so that the loan is extended in time. But for this time, it had given me a chance of utilizing it for 2 years and at least make sure that for every 6 months, the loan is the interest is cleared in lump sum, or if so wishes, per month. I clear it per month. So for this year, the last year that is for this year that is running now, we hope that by by December or November, we shall be starting to pay back inclusive with principal inclusive, so that we clear off the loan and also fall back into the pool that might maybe need to use it further. Thank you.
Madam Moderator, can I go for a question?
Please proceed.
Okay, thank you so much. Kenneth, I have no words, but mine is just perhaps I have no words to say to you, is just to thank you so much for your insightful contributions and sharing such practical, inspiring experience with us, and particularly the youngsters. Now, just a quick one, maybe two. What would you say to a young person who is hesitant to join agriculture today? Because I heard from Mama D that she's surprised and impressed that in spite of your town lifestyle, you have successfully ventured into agriculture, breaking what usually is a stereotype. So my remarks are just to encourage you to keep it up. And I'm very grateful that you shared your background, which I personally didn't know, although I'm in your team. And I've all the time been wondering how you are able to jump on all those aspects of technology. Now I have an idea. So please share it. And most importantly, this is to encourage the youngsters to venture in these projects. I'm feeling a bit guilty because this opportunity should be for the youngsters to ask. And for us, we just there to listen and give guidance. Thank you so much, Kenneth.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Uncle Patrick. For the youngsters who'd like to join farming, I would advise them to be cautious. They are joining farming because whether you like it or not, farming has years of experience. So whether you like it or not, you have to go through that process of experiencing things. Unless if you intervene and have resources to pay the professionals to guide you and help you out, and be prayerful that those professionals, as they will not, give you bad advice. I believe that if you can't afford that, then you would have to start small. Start with what you can manage, or what the people the personnel that you've employed, especially those unskilled workers at the farm that you train. It would require that you start with small amounts, and then with those small amounts, you have lessons to learn, and those lessons would have reasonable or small implications on the financial losses that you might make. But whether you like it or not, when it comes to agriculture, you must spare, or you must be having a resource pool where at least you can invest for quite a longer time. Maybe if you dwell into doing more research about things before you go into them, which also at times would pool resources. For example, you can do farm visits and see what the other farmers are going through, and probably how they go about those problems that they face. In that, you can learn certain mistakes that you might not make at your own farm. So I believe for the youngsters, or for ZASS as a foundation, that we could probably have such programs where we can have farm visits, organize farm visits to farms where they are so restricted and maybe require organized teams to assure them that they will meet the costs of biosecurity. That is maybe you might find there's some money that is supposed to be incurred at entry, so that the farm management does not incur much cost for visitors coming in with improper biosecurity. So maybe as ZASS brought in this, maybe we can have organize retreats or visits to farms, and see how those people are running the farms and learn the mistakes, how they've gone about them. And aside from that, you might have to face the problems yourself and learn slowly from the smaller numbers that you can start with, or hire a professional that can help you out. And all that is possible, at least if you have land that is strategically located. And for example, the reason why I love that land so much is because of, it is strategically located. There's easy access to the market. Resource is the biggest, we have. That's the biggest resource that we have. Water is the biggest resource that we have. And we are at the far end. We have a few people who intervene our activities and maybe find them not conducive for the environment. So the land has to be strategically located, and also so that you don't meet there are certain costs that now, like for us, water is not a problem for us. We have it in plenty. The rest is the lessons we learn from diseases that crop up. But we managed to intervene until maybe land told us that we have to follow, the natural land, the soils. They need to be, replenished. They need to be reset back to to a point where they are at least favorable for plant growth. I continue to encourage members to find farming as an opportunity they can venture in, but cautiously. Comes with losses. It's not a bed of roses. But when, depending on whatever path you take, you have to remember that success will someday come your way. I don't think I can encourage you enough. Rather, I know you can always watch more YouTube videos. That resource is available online. The first time we constructed the broiler house, I felt like I'd done a very big mistake. Judging by the standards that the Ministry of Agriculture was providing online. But then I went on YouTube. I happened to follow on Dr. Daniel Masava, who has a farm there in Ibale. He's on YouTube. He has been doing layers, and he so happened that the same structure that he built was the same that we had built. So that alone comforted me, and I was able to at least get some strength that we are on the right path. So I advise members to watch more YouTube videos. There's a lot to learn, and maybe you'd pick inspiration from there, or even after visiting some farms. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. As we come to the end of this, we just have one more question in the chat. After where, Kevin, you will display the investment ad. Let me read the question for you, and you just briefly summarize for us. What plans or strategies have you put in place to transition into a successful agribusiness, assuming you don't want this to stay a small side hustle?
That's a tough one.
So the plans, we have bigger plans, and of course it comes with bigger resources. We look at more mechanization. We look at better farming practices. We know that the food demand will always be there, and we hope that we shall be increasing our production over time. And with all that, we need to make sure that we have proper structures for managing the farms, so that whatever step we take is accounted for. Because over time, the biggest problem we've had probably was not disease, but management of the farm. So we think that our bigger plan would be to have a properly managed business. At least now we are taking baby steps, and I'm sure with time, we shall have a solid management to ensure that the resources, both human and financial, are managed well, because there's a lot that is lost when such resources are managed poorly. As I said, technology is advancing, so we need to mechanize some parts of the farm. For example, when it comes to broilers, we'd want to see automation of certain activities, like for example, drinking water for the birds. And generally, that's it. It would be, to summarize, it would be proper management, mechanizations, and proper practices at the farm. I think those would be the main bigger plans that we could have for the farm.
Thank you so much. There's another question. In 1 minute, this is the last one we are taking. Can you just summarize in 1 minute how you would build brand awareness and reach customers? Just in 1 minute. Thank you.
In farming, or currently where we stand, branding is more of how we present ourselves. We have not ventured much, or we have not gone much into marketing and branding. It is a very important part of our business, and we are looking into that. It has been on table. I would think it's mainly how we present ourselves first to the customers. So we have to make sure that the face of the business is appreciated. We encourage more of or we put at the front personnel or people who are, who really show that who show or are able to present themselves well to customers and hold our name high. Mainly that one is on the what we call candy animal feeds. That's where we do it most. For goat meal, the market is readily available. We had the daily presence, and we were able to make sure that our product, which was goat meal, that it reached the customer on a daily. So they had that assurance that we always had goat meal, and we would take orders from them on almost a daily, and they had put their trust in us. So with branding tools, we would want to at least make sure that there is visual, where if someone sees a certain color, they know that that's us, and how we dress, and maybe other ways we present ourselves. So we are working towards that, but we've not focused much on it, though it's work in progress. But we promote good relations with customers. With those people we put at the front for now. Hopefully I've answered that question too.
Yes, sure you have. Thank you so much. Now, Kevin, kindly display the investment ad. Thank you so much. Now, Kevin. We can't. Okay.
Kevin, the ad is I don't know.
We can't hear. There's no volume.
It's about the network, but then the ad is not clear. Kevin.
Almost everything you are, especially with financial constraints, making investing feel like a luxury you cannot afford, but it doesn't have to seem that way. Well, ZASS Investment Fund ZIF is here to change the narrative by turning micro-savings into testimonials. At ZIF, we make you exactly why you want and help you turn small, consistent savings into financial progress. We use a proven path: save, invest, and grow. Your savings are carefully invested by trusted professionals in a balanced portfolio of trust funds, government bonds, and member microloans, allowing your money to grow and compound year after year. So how does it work? First, tie your savings to a goal. Is it a dream vacation, a new wardrobe, building a home, securing long-term financial freedom, or preparing for a comfortable retirement? Start with whatever you can. No amount is too small. Every contribution matters. Just save consistently and let compounding do the rest. And now, with ZASS Momo Pay, everything gets much easier. Just open your Momo app or dial *165 *3#. Enter the merchant code 42594478. Include your full name and purpose and send whatever amount you can. Your funds will be invested immediately at no cost to you. Don't let your dream die for lack of a plan. Start today. Use ZASS Investment Fund to turn your micro savings into a testimony. ZASS Foundation, united in prosperity, rooted in heritage. Join ZIF today.
Thank you so much. As we come to the end of this podcast, it is clear that farming is not just a traditional practice. It needs patience. However, it does come with a lot of challenges, like they have stated, but you need to persevere, plan well, have the patience, and above all, apply the right strategies. Now, I do hope this conversation has given us a different perspective about farming, especially the visionaries. And perhaps we are all inspired to stepping into the space of the farming business and explore. Just as Thomas Jefferson once said, agriculture is our wisest pursuit because it will, in the end, contribute most to real wealth, good morals, and happiness. And with those words, I do encourage each one of us to explore the opportunities that lie there. So on behalf of the hosts and the entire team, I would like to thank all of you for being part of this conversation and sharing your thoughts. To our dear guests, Mr. Kenneth Woniaye and Mr. Julius Ourum in his absence, I would like to thank all of you for sharing your personal experiences and practical knowledge about farming. Last but not least, the team behind the scenes. Thank you so much. A round of applause to them. Piga makofi tafadhali. And to ZASS Foundation, thank you for pushing us. Like we've heard, Kenneth was able to benefit from this. If he was able to benefit, so can the rest of us. Thank you so much. Just a quick reminder for those who missed, this session has been recorded and it will be up on our YouTube channel. Kindly tune in, follow, and learn more from this. I remain Victoria Wanda, your moderator for this evening, alongside Sheila, the host for the evening. Thank you so much and have a blessed evening.
You are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Could I just make some closing remarks? I don't know whether Patrick, you have done any summary for us. If not, then I'll just make some concluding remarks on this.
Sam, if you let me, I could just make a few remarks and then you can summarize.
Please.
First of all, we've all been thanked, but also just to say, before Julius left, we had also gotten some points and we are grateful for that as well. So as we come to the end of this insightful session, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to all our speakers for sharing their experiences, lessons, and practical insights from the field. Your contributions have truly enriched our understanding of farming as both a business and a way of life. A special thank you to Kenneth, his openness, deep knowledge, and the valuable perspectives he has shared throughout the discussion. I would also like to express our gratitude to our host for guiding this conversation so effectively and keeping us engaged from start to finish. Finally, sincere appreciation to Kevin for the excellent technical support and the real-time image projections, which greatly enhanced our overall experience. To all the participants, thank you for your active engagement. We hope you leave this session inspired, informed, and perhaps ready to take the first step into agriculture. Thank you and have a wonderful evening. Just a little bit from me, and then I hand over to Sam to do the summary. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. And let me stand on your thanksgiving to also acknowledge the immense contribution, sharing of knowledge by the team, guided by Sheila. So special thanks to Kenneth and Julius and our moderator for the day, Vicky. You have done an excellent job. We really, really appreciate that, and we hope you're inspiring others to also take the hot seat and share whatever they have for the good of the foundation. In my assessment, I think I've had 3 or 4 takeaways, key takeaways. One is side hustling. Both of our presenters tonight have indicated that they started when they are probably doing something else. Julius was still a civil servant, but started 20 years ago farming. Kenneth is employed in downtown business, but at the same time also doing a side hustle, and here we are sharing the good news. So I encourage all of us who are still employed to think of something to get started. The biggest step is to start, and then the rest can follow. Even if the ZASS is willing to help, but if you don't get started, that help may not be harnessed in any way. The second key information I've picked is technology. Technology, Kenneth is building on his academic know-how, but also taking it down to the practice. borrowing also from the knowledge he got from the office to his private business, which is an excellent move. And I see Julius also attempting to do that, much as he's keeping it simple. In my view, there is room for synergy. Synergy where we should be able to move from the rudimentary records we are having to a stage where we can use technology to make life easier in terms of monitoring all that we do, whether it is costs, whether it is revenue, or whether it is business centers. I think this to me is an area that we need to strengthen. And I encourage Abel, who is in the head of this component in terms of entrepreneurship, to organize a session in that respect and blend it with the financial literacy. Because if you don't know what is coming out of your business, you may not know what to do next. So I think it's an area that we should work on as ZASS Foundation to strengthen our knowledge and understanding of how to run a business in the profitable line. The other key takeaway is really to be open to continuous learning. I think this has been demonstrated all through this discussion this evening. Kenneth says when you are going to be involved in agriculture, you must be willing to learn. Julius said the same. Learning never stops. And this is something that we have talked over and over again, and all of us should be prepared to learn as we get involved in our businesses in whatever shape or size or sector. So I encourage all of us. Kenneth has alluded to several sources of information knowledge, whether YouTube, whether exchange visits, whether learning by experience in terms of facing the challenges on the ground. But all these require all of us to be open to learning, sharing information, and seeking technical advice from those who know more than us or who are specialists in those fields to guide us in whatever we do. So again, this podcast is not necessarily that is encouraging everybody to go into agriculture. It's probably encouraging us to do something that can generate additional income to our households. So be prepared as you think of those ventures to learn, to seek knowledge, and to be able to move the needle to another level. The other last one probably is the issue which is topical now, taxation, especially in Uganda. I think what I've heard from Kenneth is that agriculture, incomes from agriculture is currently probably exempt from taxation, and probably that makes it more attractive. But I think the bigger picture is, as we explore the various ventures we want to get into, let's be aware of the tax regime. How does it impact on our bottom line? Does it make it worse? Or are there some incentives that we can take advantage of as we think of venturing out into business? The last one is an encouragement to retirees. Julius said he's a retired civil servant. But again, he's saying he's quite busy. He's very busy, actually. And he's even happy that he retired because he's saying he's going to do much more. So to me, that is quite exciting, and it gives me courage. I'm peeping into retirement. I'm knocking on the door, and I think I take a big lesson from that actually retirement doesn't mean resting. Retirement means changing the shoes or changing your protocol from the 8 to 5 for somebody else to probably more time for yourself to do more in terms of engagement. So for those who are retired or those who are nearing retirement, let's be prepared. Let's be encouraged by Julius's example, experience, to see how we get into this, we make use of the retirement phase as another chapter in our lives, not necessarily sitting back and imagining that now it is time to rest. Because a brain that is not challenged deteriorates very fast. That is science. It's not some saying, but it is proven. Arrange our minds and see whether we can add, learn, and be more useful even in those advanced ages that we are heading to. So with those remarks, I'm very excited and very thankful to the team. And I look forward and encourage that we should have many of such sessions. I'm telling you, this would cost a lot of money if we were to hire people to come and speak to us. But here we have got it at zero cost. Maybe the cost of data would be the cost and your time. But this is valuable information that we are getting from ZASS Foundation. And therefore, we should really be part and be proud of whatever is happening in the foundation as we grow together. We are rooted in heritage and we are united for prosperity. So with those remarks, I don't know whether Mama D, our A1 special member, would like to make a statement. If not, I would like to bring to a close this session. Thank you. Mama D, do you want to say something?
Not now, Sam. You have said it all.
Oh, thank you so much. Maybe give us a closing prayer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, we come before you once again, thanking you for your presence here with us in this discussion and meeting. We thank you for the bright ideas we have heard today. We thank you for the knowledge you are imparting on the young ones and even on us who are aged. We thank you for the unity which has made these people so transparent that they give their all in whatever they are doing. We thank you, Lord, that you have given us a unity which can unite us even to grow further and better. We ask, Lord, that as we part as a family who is willing and able, and indeed together we will say it can happen. We have one hope and we can build that hope, that of moving together in all areas, not just prosperity, but in all areas of our lives. Thank you, Lord, for each and every one of us who attended. Thank you for even those who didn't attend. And thank you for the lives of all of us. We are asking this, knowing that you'll keep us alert and you'll keep us united and you'll keep us, our cords together, because we are doing that for the love of ourselves and you love us as a Father. Thank you, Lord, for we asking in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mama.
Amen.
Amen. Sam, I've just posted a summary.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You can see the one who is heading us in my space here is Ase. She has listened all through.
I like the prayer.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Well done, guys. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
What's a good
Yeah.